Okay, so we covered social media influencer marketing in my workshop today, which I gather is the first time that you've done these at these events. I think it went really well, and a lot of the focus really was on, a lot of these brands and organisations just don't have the budgets to work with what we would call sort of the top tier social media influencers and even the power middle social media influencers. And we talked a lot about how we categorise influence, and we shouldn't just be looking to these social media influencers as, I guess, kind of an extension of a media spend or a media campaign, but actually start to think about a long-term approach to working with people who can influence the way that our audiences or our customers or our clients can think or feel or actually do something differently. So I think the trends are, and were encapsulated really by the questions that I was covering, are that influence is actually quite nuanced and quite I guess compartmentalised. So you have the very sort of famous social media influencers that everybody knows about, and our kids watch on TV and get all of the media coverage. But actually, if you look at the sort of the lower levels, what we would call the mid-tier and the micro influencers, those people who don't do it as a full-time job, also they have genuine, real influence over a smaller number of people, then that's an area that I think that more brands and organisations are really looking to, exploit. That, and also working with staff and customers as advocates for their content, for their messaging, and also for anything that helps them to achieve a business building outcome. Okay, so you can talk about all of the hot trends, things like augmented reality and video and AI and all of those sexy things, and I think probably people have covered that. I want to be maybe a bit more prosaic about the things that I think that we have to be aware of as marketers. And for me, it's the backlash against the algorithm, and it's the backlash against programmatic. And I'm not saying that algorithms are wrong and programmatic advertising and marketing is a bad thing, but I think that we also have to be aware when it's overdone, and also we have to be aware of some of the potential issues around it. So there have been lots of stories in the media around, essentially adverts, being used to propagate ISIS media and kind of, I guess, sort of terrorism and those kind of things. And we need to be really careful about that reputationally. The other thing that I suggested is kind of, being careful with the algorithm. And we see with, fake news and I guess some of the challenges and the issues that we've had in terms of politics, Brexit, certainly in the UK, the election in the US as well. The idea and the concept that we kind of live in a bubble. We live in a bubble through maybe social media and also our search habits, whereby we get fed more of actually what we want. And I think as a very old person in this space as well, in the early 90s, when you went onto a search engine and you went to find some information, you would get something back that probably surprised you and delighted you a little bit. And I'm feeling, as a consumer of content in social spaces and also through search and other places and spaces, I just feel that nobody is delighting me anymore. I'm getting stuff around my age, so stand stair lifts and menopausal stuff and things like that. But actually, I don't want that. I want to be surprised and delighted. I don't want to live in my bubble anymore. So I think the smart marketers are the ones that realise that I may be in the minority, but there are certainly people who are starting to kind of push back against the very things that we think are brilliant and are progressive as well. So I guess that's sort of a challenge to marketers. How can we continue to surprise and delight people, but also give them what they want at the same time? Wow, that's a challenge, isn't it?